What's going on, people? Post-match fan show. I'm exhausted, man.
I am exhausted, but you know what? We all say when these fan shows could be long and they could be long for the negative. This one's going to be a long one and it's going to be full of positivity. We've won 4-3. I don't know how, but we got the job done. Second half, Hotspur entered the building and boy, God, thank God, did they.
Yeah, look, we're gonna try and get as many people on as possible. We're gonna try and keep it to 5 minutes or so, just to get as many people as possible, because I know this is going to be the last post-match fan show before the World Cup until Boxing Day. So yeah, we're gonna do our best to try and get as many of you on. I know the link has just gone out. Sammy, is there anyone waiting so far, or? We're just waiting. Catman Jess, big up Barry and Brian. We're officially the comeback kings, so happy to have Kulu back. Come on, you Spurs, in Conte we trust. And again, Mark Longmaid, welcome to Silver. There's 267 of you watching. Please hit that like button. It's not for goals this time, but it certainly does work. So yeah, look, it's been emotional. It's kind of the end of where we are until the World Cup. We are currently sitting in third place with Chelsea and Newcastle playing at the moment. Obviously, Newcastle can leapfrog us again with a win. Hopefully, they get a draw. Wolves beat Arsenal, and we can all celebrate going into the World Cup, which would be absolutely fantastic. Just some post-match words from Jesse Marsh. I'm gutted. I feel like someone has ripped my heart out. I thought we had control of the match, but we let it slip. There's obviously positives in there because in our good moments we look like we have quality, but in our bad we look vulnerable and naive. Absolutely, and I'm glad that you were vulnerable and naive.
Yep.
Which is really, really good. There was a protest outside St James's Park around highlight human rights abuse in Saudi Arabia. There was about 12 people apparently in a dog. So a bit like where we are. So look, we're gonna get to it.
Yep.
We're gonna get to the people and we're gonna see what they have to say.
Who's on first?
Who is on first?
It is my brother Ryan, a part of Tottenham on tour, and he's got a very big smile on his face. So let's bring him on. What's up, Ryan, brother?
Keeps going with this club, just about still beating. Probably one of the best games I've seen at New Stadium, just in terms of drama and everything. So yeah,
Yep.
Anyone says Conte plays boring football, we've just won 4-3. So that puts that to bed.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan, what was your thoughts of the first half? In the first half, we looked very good going forward, but we looked very, very shaky at the back, didn't we?
Yeah, again, poor defensively, 2 sloppy goals. Eric Dyer, I don't know what he's doing for the first goal, and the second goal was just a calamity of errors. How can you allow, these are top professionals, to allow from a cleared ball 2 headers, basically, to put it back into the box? And albeit it's a great goal, but it shouldn't have come to that. If you deal with the situation at hand, then it doesn't come to that. It was just poor, sloppy defending, and we have now got 3 months to address that effectively. We've got the rest of November, December, January to scout, assess, and go and get the targets in now.
You're right.
We are a shambles.
Ryan, I want to ask you this because you and me have had this discussion over the phone and a few times about Hugo Lloris, and I said I think Fraser Foster needs to start, and he did against Forest. And then obviously, what do you think of Lloris today?
He didn't do too much wrong. I mean, didn't have any chances with the goals. The third goal was an unbelievable finish by Rodrigo. His kicking seems to be... Well, that's still the problem. It's his kicking, let's be real. But overall, he didn't have a lot to do. Like, he didn't save much. It's just one of them games where he done what was in front of him. He didn't, make spectacular saves, but
sorry, Ryan. Do you see in the second half that needless punch or that random punch for no reason whatsoever?
Yeah, I did see that, but
these are the things that are coming in. Exactly.
Edison done it today. Edison done it today in the Man City game when he palmed one and Brentford almost scored from it. So it's not just Lloris, but Lloris, yeah, he's one of them. And we've said it enough times. Lloris, you know, we got to start. That's another area we need to look to improve on, because the times have changed where we brought Lloris in, you know, sweeper keeper style. He was the best at. Now you've got to be able to play with your feet. You've got to be able to do everything. And we need to go find a goalkeeper that can do that at the moment. Because at the moment, Lloris isn't going to do it. Forster isn't the answer. It's just one of them things. But yeah, again, we've got 3 months to assess this. I don't think we'll be replacing Lloris this window, but it's something we've got to be targeting next window in the summer.
Rodrigo Bentancur and Dejan Kulusevski. Off you go.
Well, Miles was just there. He says that Kulusevski is the best player in the world right now. I'm not so sure about that, but yeah, I mean, you just see what he does for Spurs. You know, the energy, the drive, the creativity. He gives us something. He gives us the X factor. Rodrigo Bentancur. By the way, it wasn't a foul for the third goal. Rodrigo just lost it. But I tell you what, he didn't let his head drop. He did not let his head drop. Okay, he's the only one in this side right now that for every single game this season, even the North London derby defeat, that can have his head held high going into that World Cup. He has worked his bollocks off all game, all season long, and he's been our best player this season and deservedly got those 2 goals. But overall, yeah, again, look, we got the win. It's fucking tough being a Spurs fan at the moment with them lot down the road winning, being top of the league. Hopefully not winning it. But if Wolves can do us a big favour, we're only 5 points off them. Yes, we played a game more after today. If Wolves do the job. Look, at the start of the season, I said we would be, come the World Cup break, 4 or 5 points off top spot. We all thought it would be City, but it's Arsenal. If they lose today, we're only 5 points off. And I said 5 points off, coming into the World Cup, top of our Champions League group, and we've done fine. It's all about strengthening now in January. Get these players back healthy. Hopefully England can bring it home. And we've just got to go from there. And hopefully, even though we know it's not going to happen, we know it's not going to happen under this ownership. But if it does, he's got to back him. He's just got to go out there and just... I would honestly just raid Inter Milan for 200 million and just go Dumfries, Skriniar, Bastoni. And you've just got to.
Just like that.
We're in a position. We are back in the position where we were under Poch, where, yes, the football might not be exactly the same, but we're in a similar position where we're not that far away. Just 2 or 3 players again, and we can seriously challenge. And I don't want this to go through our fingers again, because if it does, there's only one man you can look at.
Absolutely, Ryan. Look, I don't want to cut you off because I'm having a good chat, but there's so many people in the background, mate. We want to get them on because last time we didn't. So
remember, we're going to ask everyone one question. We're going to ask everyone the same question. Which player, Tottenham player at the World Cup, is going to go furthest? We're going to ask everyone this one question.
It will be...
Obviously, if they've got more players than one, you say the country.
It's the furthest. I'm going to go with Romero.
You're going Argentina?
Has a very good chance of winning.
Okay.
I think they're very much dark horses.
Ryan, brother, thank you very much. We'll speak tomorrow and have a good evening.
Big up, Ryan.
You too, my brother.
Big up, brother. See you soon.
Everyone, have a good one. Enjoy today. It hasn't happened for a while, but we've got the 3 points. Enjoy today. And up the Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Big up to Lee Richards with a super chat. All the heart was missing at Forest. Was there today. Very proud of this Spurs team tonight. But it's a miracle we are third with that defence. And absolutely, I think it is a miracle because look, if we finish third going into this World Cup with what's happened the last 3 or 4 weeks, it's massive.
Third or fourth, really, isn't it? If we're in the Champions League positions, we could go fourth, but being in the top, Lee is absolutely bang on the money with this defence. It is a miracle. It's a Christmas miracle.
It's a Christmas miracle. Right, and another super chat. Kunan Taki, Bentancur is absolutely world class. He absolutely is. But look, with 5 people waiting in the background, let's get the next person on. It's Ave Master.
My boy. What's up, brother?
He's on mute.
Yep, the rookie mistake.
How you doing, lads?
All good, brother. Yourself?
How you guys doing? I'm good. I'm mentally tired after watching that, but I'm good.
What do you want to talk about, Miles? Where do you want to start, brother? Where could you start?
Well, it's more a matter of do you want to get the positives out of the way and get them straight to the negatives, or Nah, I'm going straight to the negatives. That defence is shocking.
Yeah, 100%.
I can't. The thing is, I think it was either Brian. I think it was Brian that said it. But as soon as Dyer got that call up for the England squad, he has not cared one single bit about the Spurs team or about how we play. It's like his mind's just gone. You know what? I've proved everything I need to. I'm back in England. That's it. Done. I don't need to prove myself anymore.
Yeah, and look, and look, I think you're right, and I think we saw that, Ave, with the goals. Dyer wasn't strong enough for the first one. He then was playing Rodrigo on side for the third one or second one, or I can't even remember which one it was.
The second one he was playing on side.
It was just look. I don't want to.
Second goal that was.
I wouldn't want anyone to be injured, but if Dyer gets injured and that forces our hand to go out and spend money, then that wouldn't be a bad thing, right?
I mean, I don't wish injury upon anyone, but in regards to this, I wouldn't mind it.
No, I think, guys, I think where you got to look at it is where we are with Dyer right now is kind of where we were before we got Kulusevski, when we looked at Mora and Bergwijn. Kulusevski came in and it just showed the levels difference we had by bringing in a player. And I think that's where we are with Dyer right now. Squad player maybe, but first team.
I would argue that we do seriously need. I said it in my super chat that we need two defenders.
Yep.
Or I said one or two, but if we get one, fine. If we get two, then we can start thinking, okay, we've got a solid defense, and there have to be two good players. I'm not talking two championship defenders. I'm talking two like Inter Milan style players, or like a Bastoni. Everyone's saying Bastoni. I'll take Bastoni in a heartbeat. But it's just like.
But yeah, you want two players. You want two players that are going to come straight into that starting lineup, not two players that need to have time or one for the future or anything like that. You want them. They need to be world class that change this team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Longley. I do like how he plays. He's not particularly a bad player. He's not a great player, but he's not a bad player. He's a good player. He's a good substitution if you need him.
Yeah.
But seeing as he is having to start games right now, that shows what is up with our defence. We have no depth, and that's arguably we can say about this entire team. Yeah, Kulusevski goes out. We have Lucas Moura. Look, I've loved Lucas Moura. I've loved him, but he's slow now. He's not got the speed that he was renowned for. He's not got the physical strength anymore that he was renowned for back in 2019, back in 2018, and all that lot. So the fact that we've still got players that we had during the Poch era, it shows zero intent from the board. Look, I know everyone's going to say, "Oh, but stop getting on Levy. It's Conte's tactics." It is Conte's tactics. Yes, sometimes we don't play the football that we probably should against certain teams, against like a team like Arsenal and Liverpool and whatnot. But honestly, if the players don't have the mentality and the players don't have the drive and the players don't have the physicality to play in the Premier League, or they don't have the physicality or anything like I said to play in Champions League, then why are they playing for our team?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I think Conte made a mistake when he brought Sanchez and Dotti on, but obviously he changed that when he brought Basuma on, and it obviously changed the game. Sanchez looked much better playing higher up the pitch for me, but defensively inept. But what do you think?
I mean, I'd say Sanchez played better than Dyer did.
Yeah, I mean, I would
say Doherty definitely played better than Emerson did.
I got to see the glory. I got to see the glory at Forest of with Ben Simondani of Davinson Sanchez doing a Johan Cruyff turn in the penalty area. One of the most shambolic attempts I've ever seen. He did look more progressive going forward. He really did. But like you said, you look at it now, like you say with Lucas Moura, he was good for Poch style football. We're not playing Poch style football anymore.
No,
it's different, exactly. And there's players at the club that don't fit the mantra of what he's trying to do. And that's what we've got to. That's what we've got to sort out. So you're saying if we had to go anywhere, are you with me and Nick that if we invest or we do anything in January, we solely need to look at that defence before we think of any other positions?
Absolutely. Defence is priority. We can look at creative midfielders, right wing backs, more wingers at a later date. That can wait. Right now, defence is god awful, and every single one of our losses this season, I can blame nothing more apart from the fact that we do not have a defence that is worthy of Premier League status, let alone top 4 status. So, I mean, I'm not going to lie, the Nottingham Forest game, I didn't really mind us losing because I didn't really want us in that cup anyway. Yes, it's a cup, and I know that we are in dire need of winning something, but I would look more towards an FA Cup if we want to get a in-country cup, if you know what I mean, because the FA Cup has more standing in comparison to the Carabao. But like I would even against Nottingham Forest, I would expect at least a little bit of intent. We showed nothing. That first half was meh at best. That second half was god awful. Like we looked like a championship team playing against Nottingham Forest.
Yep.
And I hate saying this because, like I said, there are players in this team that I loved for a very long time. People like Davis and I liked Dyer for a couple of years, but Davis I would keep right now because he's not too bad. Dyer, get him out. Lucas Moura, get him out. Emerson Royal should never even join this club. Get him out. Like we have Jed Spence. I know Conte's saying Jed Spence isn't ready, but look how he played against Nottingham Forest. That was a 26-minute run.
Yeah, Dave, look, I get it. For me, I thought Emerson played well today. I know it's against how he usually plays. I think the link-up play between him and Kulusevski, they know each other. They've played with each other a lot since, obviously, they've both been at the club. And I think it's easy to kind of point the finger at Emerson, right? Because we're so used to seeing how they play. Look, I think for me, Jed Spence, I don't think we can judge him off 26 minutes. Conte didn't want him, so that goes to show he's not likely to play, and he'll play when Conte's ready, not when we're all sitting there saying that Jed Spence should be playing, right? And 26 minutes, and I think, look, 26 minutes, did he set the world on fire? No. Did he show some hints of stuff? Maybe, but for me, I think Conte sees them every day, and we need to kind of understand that's where we are with him. And I think we need to.
I'll never undermine Conte. I've always said in Conte we trust, and I will say that until the day that he either leaves or gets sacked. But like at this current point in time, I look at how Emerson Royale's playing, and I know that you said that Emerson Royale's had a decent game. I'm not going to say I disagree. I just didn't see him. I didn't really notice his work that much. But when you put on Doherty, you could see that. I know that people will probably say that this is not true. Doherty had a better game than Emerson did today. Like,
you reckon?
You could see. I would reckon because on the aggression side, not defensively, he was atrocious. Don't get me wrong, he's not good at defense, but like aggression-wise, you could see a lot more. The link up that Doherty has with Kulusevski is 10 times better.
Yes, that I agree with.
Emerson Royale and Kulusevski. Like, Kulusevski and Emerson, they just passed each other. Emerson passes to Kulusevski, and Kulusevski has to do all of the work up front.
Yeah. That I agree with completely.
Yeah.
There is a lot of teamwork and a lot of, I'm going to pass to you here, but I would like to receive it over here at the same time. And that's what I like to see. Some good, I'd like to say old-fashioned, but it's also not happening now. I would like to see some good team cohesion, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
We don't get that with certain players like Dyer, Dyer, Emerson, and Lucas Moura. And I know that it's really bad. And you can clearly tell that I loved Lucas Moura about a year ago, and even last season he was actually pretty decent. But this season, oh my.
I know,
Oh,
right?
three
Well,
seconds doesn't take much.
Ave, Brian's going to ask you his question.
Yeah. Which country are
There you
you
go,
going
come on.
for that has a Spurs representative? Who's going furthest in the World Cup?
I have to kind of agree with Ryan. I think it's going to be Argentina.
I think we're going to have a favourite
Yeah.
here by a country mile here.
I'm going to throw a curveball in. Have you seen that Brazilian squad? They could play two different teams.
Sorry. No.
Yeah, but-
Charlton's Brazil.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Brazil.
Yeah, I forgot. I was about to say Emerson's not going. Then I remembered Richarlison.
Emerson and
then,
Moore aren't
then I
going.
remembered
How dare
Richarlison.
they?
Oh, dear. Okay, well,
Yeah,
Ave, listen,
I
whilst
think-
I'm back, we're going to have to meet up, buddy.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll sort
I
it.
see that message during the Nottingham Forest game being very optimistic for them. maybe not. But
I'll
I'll
reach
have
out.
to come to like bricklayers or something.
Yeah, I'll reach out to you. I'll reach out to you over the weekend.
Sounds great.
All
All
right,
right,
big up,
buddy.
Ave.
Speak
Thanks
to you
for the
soon.
call. Nice to speak to you, buddy.
Pleasure, dudes. Pleasure.
See you
Come on,
later,
you
bud.
Spurs.
Come on,
Come on,
you
you
Spurs.
Spurs.
Big up. Right, let's keep going thick and
It's Ben.
fast.
Oh,
Is this the next person?
This is the next person, I believe, and he's going to be very, very happy. I can see him smiling already. He's rubbing his hands because the goal scorer of goal number 2 happens to be a favourite player of this man. Is Mr. Ariane Ben Davies. How are you, brother?
Oh my God! When that goal went in, right, 2-2, off the line, I basically like froze, just stunned. That didn't understand what was happening. Just glory before my eyes. Finally, because he's had those thunder cunts from out the box, and finally one of them went in, and it's the perfect example of why we shouldn't sign Meslier. Hopefully Levy saw that. So many things were happening in my head, right? But oh my, okay. The game, 4-3. What a game! Let's just break this down. Okay. One thing I just want to mention really quickly is I think this game perfectly. Everyone's been saying this embodies why this defense is just so absolutely shit, and why Conte is not to blame for half the stuff that's going wrong. Because if we keep playing on the front foot every single time we go behind. Now, Conte has to be the most tactically amazing, man-managing genius to shift this team from attacking and defending perfectly every time, 7 times in like one half. If he can genuinely man-manage every single one of those players to be incredibly defensive-minded and then go on to play that fluid attacking football once we go back, then I don't want him to ever get sacked, because that man management is absolutely amazing if he has those players down to a T like that. Or, call me crazy, this trend that's been following under 4 managers might be the fault of the same backline that's played under all 4 of them. Maybe. Now, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm ridiculous. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass, right? But maybe when the same back line is played under 4 managers and the same trend follows, you have to point at the players.
Ariane,
So,
quick question with the defence. Quick question with the defence.
When you have to,
Do you see a combination of a back 3, and I'm including Romero when fit, that would actually work, that we currently have?
I think my favorite right now would just be having Davis, Longley, and Romero, if Romero is fit, because I don't like seeing Dyer play football. I don't. Even when he was good last season, I kind of saw through it. When he's good, he's very passive. When Dyer is having a good game, he's just kind of on the back foot, passive, doesn't have a lot to do, and it's kind of passing the ball just out, giving some long balls, some of which work, some of which don't. It's always, I've never seen Dyer have a really dominant central display where he's the reason we kept the clean sheet. I've never seen that from Eric Dyer. He's never been the reason we've kept the clean sheet. Romero has been the reason we kept the clean sheet. He blocks the ball. He goes in when he's playing good. Davis has had some great blocks, and he's just scored today. And, Perisic had that great block against Marseille.
Yep.
Even Emerson, like against Liverpool last season, he's had good games. But I've never seen a game from Eric Dyer where I'm like, this was the standout defender today. What a performance, Eric Dyer. I've just never seen that. And I don't want him... I just don't want him around for that long. I don't think he's the man we need to lead this back line.
You kept saying the word "the reason" so many times in that. I think this is the perfect. See what I did there? That we can go into someone that is the reason, How good is Rodrigo Bentancur been the last 6-7 weeks?
That man has been just mesmerizing to watch. Genuinely, if these are Juventus rejects, I want to sign every Juventus reject on the planet. Give me all of them. Give me every last one, because this man is one of the best, most informed midfielders in the world right now. Everything he touches turns to gold. He had not scored a club goal in around 80 games when he had signed for us. What a ridiculous stat. And he hadn't scored. He didn't score at all last season. This season, he has been in his bag, scoring against Leicester. Was it Leicester? I think it might have been Leicester. Yeah, it was Leicester. And then he got that winner against Brighton. Then he got that equalizer against Sporting. I said Brighton. I wanted. And today he scored 2 goals to win us the game against Leeds. This man is so informed. He's dribbling, his passing, his shooting now, everything he does is absolutely brilliant, and I wouldn't trade him for any player in the world on current form right now. I don't think there's anyone I would take over him, because in that midfield we need that kind of general, and the fact that we're going to miss him in Brentford genuinely, is horrible, because we're going to need someone really big to step in his shoes. He is amazing, and I think especially if he carries this on, Uruguay are going to have a good World Cup.
Let's hope the goal doesn't get put down as an own goal then for Ben Davies, because Arian will get really upset.
Arian, you got to look at it. Where the shot's going on target, but it's a game of pinball between the goalkeeper and defender. So I think he'll get credited it.
It's been credited at the moment.
I think he'll get it a credit, yeah.
But let's hope it doesn't, because Arian will be going worse than you at the training ground.
Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow. And Arian will call in and he'll just be upset and going, how dare they? But yeah, Arian, question that I'm asking everyone. Which country with a Spurs representative is going furthest in the World Cup? We've had 2 for Argentina. With Ave Master and Ryan, but I think he may have switched to Brazil with you, so it may be 2 for Brazil. Who are you going for?
If it isn't Romero after the crap he's pulled, I'm going to be mad. It should be Romero. It better be Romero. If it isn't Romero after all this stunt with him being injured the whole season, then get him gone. Like, if it has to be, it better be. I'm going to be so upset with Romero if it isn't. Like, and I think it will be. I think it's just written in the stars. Messi's last World Cup, all that nonsense. It's happening. There we go. So, but I mean, yeah.
There we go. Well, Arian, brother, thank you very much. We'll be speaking soon, and if that goal isn't credited, I guess I'll be speaking to you tomorrow.
Probably, yeah, and hopefully you run the Spurs show this Friday. I remember them. I always have this problem, everyone. The Spurs late show, every Friday I don't remember. The past 2 Fridays, I've texted him on WhatsApp. Oh my God, I remembered, Brian. And this man's like, sorry, it's not on this week.
Yeah,
both weeks in a row. If I forget
it was meant to be on this week, but today is the first day I felt like myself without falling asleep at random times. Next week, I don't care how I have to do it. I don't care where I am at 1 a.m., whatever house I'm in. The Late Show will be back at 1 a.m. and I will be staying up for it. So all the people across the world that join it could be part of it. So that will be back, and I'll send you the reminder.
Please do, because I'm probably going to forget now that it's on.
I'll send it to you, brother. I'll send it to you.
And as always, come on, you Spurs!
Come on, you Spurs!
Big up, Arian. That's a brilliant come on, you Spurs. Just a big thing. I know people in the back, just stay in the back or join. You can join from the community section. We are going to get as many people on. So just jump in, stay there. Don't think that we're not wanting to get you on, because we will. We want to get all of you on tonight and hear what you have to say. Good news, though, from an England point of view, is that James Maddison is okay. Yes. Brendan Rodgers has confirmed that he'd overtrained this week, and that was the reason, and they took him off as a precaution. So good news all round there.
Fair play to Brendan, in all honesty.
Yeah, look, Callum Wilson's on the bench. Sterling's had some migraines, so they're not playing. So look, some players are doing what they wanted to do because they've got a squad and they've got depth. But unfortunately, we couldn't do that today. Anyway,
So glad you said
Moving
that,
on.
not me.
Sorry?
I said, I'm so glad you said that, not me.
Okay. So, moving on to our next caller. He's back on his sofa. He's got a smile on his face, and it's Hassan.
What's that, buddy?
I'm doing very good, guys. How are you?
Exhausted,
Yeah.
mate. Exhausted. Getting ready to see us being clipped all over YouTube for our celebrations.
Yeah. I mean, it's 5 a.m. in the morning over here, so
Wow.
Fair play to you.
exhausted. But hey, gotta do what you gotta do. That game sort of just summed up how we've been this first half of the season. I mean, shocking at the back, good in attack if you like the rhymes, but it was just one of those games where we would concede, we'd score, and it was just up and down. And I'm glad we got the 3 points. I think not only did Conte need that, but I think the fans needed that as well. Just some sort of belief pushed back into the fan base, because it's been a tough couple of weeks. These last few ones with draws and losses. So look, at the moment we're somehow we've managed to get into third somehow at the moment, and that's a good position to be in going into hopefully a promising transfer window. But that's all ifs and buts. But I'm happy with the 3 points. There are individual decisions and individual errors which I'm not happy about.
Yep.
But as a whole, the 3 points is good, and that's all that matters in the end.
Yeah, I mean, you know what, when you said it about attack and defend, people remember back in the 90s, this is kind of the philosophy Ozzy Ardiles had, where we just attack, and we'll score one more than you. But that was when we had the famous 5 up front. Obviously, we've got the famous 3 at the moment. We've without Son played today. How did you think Kulusevski and Richarlison did today?
I'll start with Richie. Look, it wasn't amazing. He looked all right. He drew a few fouls. He had a nice pass into Kulusevski, who scuffed the shot out wide. His passing was okay in general. I still think his best position is down the middle, and I think that's where he'll score his goals. That's where he did it mostly for Everton, but that's not going to happen because Kane's there and he's bagging goals. But I think he did the job. He did the job today, and that's all we can ask for. It was good to have 3 up front instead of 2, that's for sure. And Kulusevski, man, I mean, that January transfer window has to go down as one of our best transfer windows, period. Not just winter transfer windows, period. I mean, to get those 2 for combined is going to be roughly 45 million or something like that. I mean, that's a steal. The composure he has in the final third, for that 4th goal, just to breeze past the defender and then outside of the left boot, pass it directly into Bentancur. I mean, not many players in the league, let alone our team, are going to be able to do that. So I'm so glad he's back, and he deserves everything, man. He was phenomenal, and that too. I don't think he's 100% fit either, and he's running full steam towards the end to play 90 minutes just like that, running full in behind, taking on players. I thought he was phenomenal, and then hats off to him and Bentancur.
Yeah, it's like you said, Ozzy. I will even praise the club for getting those 2 in and for the value they did. You look at it now, you say it could be a combined total of 45 million. They're both 60, 70 million pound players individually, let alone combined, and you can see the difference. Yes, what was I going to say? What's your general thoughts on the defence? I mean, we need to discuss. I think the defence is the big thing we need to talk about, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it seems like every time they went on attack, we could have conceded. Look, I don't want to be negative, but I think it's something that we have to talk about, because I think we've conceded 11 goals in our last 5 games or something like that, and that's 2 goals a game is probably not good, especially when we play 3 at the back, or 5 at the back in some cases. And I'm gonna put. I don't want to seem like I'm scapegoating him, because I'm not, right? But what Conte sees in Emerson, I will never know. I don't want Conte out of the club. I want him to stay in the club. I want him to succeed and get trophies. But whatever Conte is smoking when he sees Emerson play, I want some of that stuff because I just don't see why. And then Eric Dyer as well, he's coming back into his own. He's had a few shocking performances of late. I mean, both of them were fault for the first goal. And then Dyer was just playing, I think it was Rodrigo onside for the second goal. And then you had Sanchez coming on, and his first thing was a foul. His first thing he did was foul and gave that free kick into the box. I mean, it's just, you bring on a defender, you're like, oh no, right? You bring Matt Doherty on, you're like, oh, he's gonna do okay, but it's not what we want. It's just, I don't know. We need reinforcements. That's all I can say. With our best centre back being out, Romero, Longley's like all right, but again, he's not amazing, but he's all right. He's probably our second best defender after Romero. Davies has been okay, but again, it's on with those type of players, you never know if he might have a stinker. So it's just, I think fans last season, Conte just got them to perform way above their level. If their level was here, somehow he got them to just perform up here. And in our mind, or in some fans' minds, they came to the conclusion that, oh, he's improved them. They've gotten better. They've now excelled. This is the players we wanted. But reality is coming back now, and they're coming back to type. And in January, if we don't sign a single centre back, there's going to be blood on that guy's hand up there. If not a single centre back walks into that door in January, because God help us if it doesn't happen.
Correct.
Absolutely, son. But look, I won't have you say a bad word about Emerson today. I'm not having anyone say a bad word about Emerson because he was by far, again, not the worst player on the pitch. The only positive that we saw from Wednesday night was Sessegnon getting injured. If
Foster.
And Forster, yeah, Forster was good. Yeah. And look, your thoughts on Hugo Lloris?
I think it's time. I think it's just that's as simple as that. It's just time to move on. He's been here for 10 years, done great, and every now and then he'll have a really good performance where he saves shots left and right. But I just think he doesn't help our struggling defense. Sometimes with his passes out from the back, he puts us under pressure. I feel like he could have done a bit better for the first goal. Sort of struck straight at him, and he sort of just let it go through his hands. And I think we just got to upgrade on that, man. We just have to get a keeper. I hope it's not Melier, because I thought he had a stinker today as well. Yeah. God forbid it's not him. But yeah, I think it's just about time that we just move on from him. There's nothing personal. It's not that I have a hatred against the guy or anything. I think it's just, he's 35 now, or 36 soon. It's just a natural progression that he has to make. I don't mind him staying one more year as like a mentor, sort of. I'll come on if I have to. I'm 100% all for that, right? I think he'll be a good mentor to whoever comes in. But I don't want him starting next season as the number one goalkeeper.
Yeah, I think the way we look at this is, I'm with you. The thing is with Hugo, I love him dearly, and he has been the best goalkeeper I've seen in my lifetime. I caught the end of Ray Clements, and I got to see Eric Torsfair. Paul Robinson's my favourite goalkeeper, but Lloris has been the best. And I just want him to go out on a high rather than hit the high and start going down and start getting... That's why I think it is. Please God, he'll come back one day as a goalkeeper coach. I think that you can't have anyone better. But Assad, talking of a World Cup winner, my question... God, I'm loving my seamless links into questions. I'm done. I should do this for a living. Nice. So which Spurs representative country do you think is going to go furthest in the World Cup?
It's probably a toss-up between Argentina and Brazil. Just because I want to see Messi win a World Cup, I'm going to go Argentina and Romero.
There we go.
By the way, I think there's going to be a lot of divided opinions on Romero when he starts that first World Cup game. Twitter's going to have a field day when he starts in that first game and runs into people and tackles them.
If he doesn't do anything at this World Cup, he's dead to me, honestly.
I mean, if he's dead to you, you can have
the trick
Sanchez
that
go
he's
there.
pulled, the trick that he's pulled. Honestly, I'm sorry, I'm not having any of it. And everyone's giving Romero a free pass.
I certainly haven't.
I'm not giving him a free pass.
Yeah, look,
He's a
I think,
disgrace.
yeah.
You told me to calm down on Twitter when I went absolutely ballistic.
I mean, with Romero, I mean, I think the worst thing for him is you have someone like Bentancur who just runs like 120% every single game.
Yep.
That man did not have the World Cup on his mind until the final whistle blew. That full 94 minutes, he was just thinking about winning that game, and he did it. For Romero, look, does he get overplayed? Probably, because Sanchez is rubbish. But then so do a lot of players. Kane gets overplayed. Bentancur gets overplayed. Højbjerg gets overplayed. And you don't really see them pulling the same sort of antics. So, yeah, I'm not happy with him. But I need him back in that back three, man, because I can't watch another Eric Dyer disaster class of Sanchez.
No,
honestly,
Hassan, I agree with you. I just think that
but
what he's done
he's
done is poor. However, I think it's it is what it is. But anyway, Hassan, we need to crack on because there's loads of people in the back room. We want to get people on. So big up to you.
No worries.
And we'll speak to you soon, mate.
Yeah, Hassan, I'll call you or message you and we'll sort something out this week to have a chat about what Tottenham on tour.
No worries.
All right, brother.
See you later, guys.
Big up, Hassan.
See you later.
Spurs.
Come
Cardi
on, you
Spurs. Did I say it? Do I think I see who I thought I saw coming on next?
I don't know if he said he wasn't watching the game.
Yeah.
And he said he was going to the cinema.
Exactly. So
and he's also won £20 on BetMate on the Tottenham Leeds.
So maybe you should watch more often, and we can have a movie review. Because let's bring him in.
He's let the dogs out. He's let the dogs out.
It's me. It's me. It's KPV.
The GOAT. The Messi of We Are Tottenham TV.
What's going on, lads?
What's going on, KPV? Did you watch the game or did you go to the cinema?
I played FIFA.
You played.
Well, do you know what, KPV? You can play FIFA for the rest of the season, mate, because you not only did Tottenham win, you won £20. Happy days all round.
I finished above Ben and Sim for the second time, like I did for the Bournemouth game. We won 3-2. So, Ben and Sim, where are you? Come on.
They're in the mud, KPV.
So KPV, if you were playing FIFA, were you listening to the game?
I watched BT Sports Score because Steve Sidwell was actually watching it, and an ex-Chelsea player, an ex-Reading player, ex-Chelsea scum, and an ex-Chelsea Reading player. Like, I don't like him, man. Like, Adebayo Fenway was watching Tottenham Bournemouth a couple of weeks ago, and I went out for a walk then. But tonight, brilliant win. I did say Bentancur was going to go on the score sheet. That's 5 goals for him.
Correct. I think you love Kulusevski, and you've got your Kulusevski shirt, but I think at the moment all the plaudits and my man of the match, most certainly today, and certainly our player of the season so far is Bentancur. So what's your feelings on Bentancur this season, KPV?
Everyone knows my feelings for him. He's been brilliant. Where's Mr. Box Office calling him Ankulu Juventus reject? 2-1, mate.
Yes, KPV calling out Mr. Box Office. I love it.
They're not rejects. The only rejects you've got are Arsenal rejects, and we knocked them out. Chelsea rejects. You got Chelsea, Liverpool, everyone, but not the Juventus one. And let's get the Kulu deal permanently in January, please, because he's back from injury and he's made an impact since he came back from injury, and he's on fire. Bentancur, Kulu make a good partnership, I must say. Brilliant performance. First half, I thought we were actually brilliant. We didn't play that bad. Normally we play shit, but first half, I thought we were brilliant. Leeds, they've not beaten us, for almost 2 seasons. Under Mourinho, we lost. But Conte beat Leeds again, 2 times this year, one at Leeds earlier last season, and we win at home against them. So that's 3 wins for Conte. 2 wins have come, without clean sheets, but one came in a clean sheet. That was 4-0. So 3 wins in a trot for Conte against Leeds. Like, where's all them Leeds fans? And where's Connor from Leeds, who Benison done a preview for the game this week? Like, he went
He was worried about you, KPV.
Yeah.
He's gone missing. He doesn't want to hear you giving him the facts.
Well, IDGAF means I don't give a fuck. We won.
Oh, KPV. That's the bottom line, because KPV says so.
Carl, let's hear what you've got. Carl, let's hear what you got to think about Eric Dyer.
Like, another diabolical performance is what David Harris says. Another diabolical, like, not doing great, but need an upgrade on him. I think, as Claude Mayor TV used to say, it's time to go. Like, Bastoni's actually still available. He's in the last year of his contract. Conte still wants him. Go get him in January. He's available. He didn't come in the summer, but January is available because that's our number 1 target. Like, centre-back need to be addressed. The wing-back and Malinowski, I hear, as, like, rumours going around, the deal's already been agreed. Like, get him. I know to play right wing, but centre-back is the main priority for me.
Yeah, brilliant, Carl. Carl, there's plenty of people in the background. Brian's got a question for you.
And here it comes. So, KPV, with all the players from Spurs going to the World Cup, which country with Spurs players will go furthest? Or which one team?
It's between 3 of them, like England, France, or Denmark, but I've got to say France.
Okay,
a new one.
Laurie, another, like, I have to pick Hugo Lloris and nephews, as Expressions calls him. Hugo Lloris and nephews. Like, but Denmark could surprise a few. Denmark got to the semi-finals of the Euros last year, but yeah, Kane missed a penalty and we still got to the final. But so Denmark maybe could surprise, but got to go with Kane and Dyer, I'm afraid. Like, 3 Lions, like the squad
so
we have.
You're going with England?
You're going for England?
Yes, mate, because Kane's already going to break Rooney's record. He's like, I believe Ellen White has already broken it, but she retired. But Kane will smash it and he'll break it, and it's coming because Italy are not in it. They're not in it because they failed.
KPV, you're calling everyone out. Box office, Iggy, France, the world. You're on one tonight, KPV.
Arsenal rejects, Chelsea rejects.
KPV is on fire. Liverpool. Anyone else? You want to? Any last words from you then, KPV, and then we must move on.
All right. Enjoy the win, people, and back Conte, and I will see you on Boxing Day because we've got Brentford, and that is a team that Kane has not scored against. So, like, it's Brentford away, and we all know Brian Daigle done a big rant after the Brentford game towards the end of last season. So, if we don't win, you're going to hear another Brian Daigle rant, which he's in the studio already, so I can't wait to hear it. But if we win, then you'll hear a big KPV rant. So, and as always, Levy out, Daigle KPV in.
so I will say thank you, KPV. I am actually in the studio for the watch along for the Brentford game, and I'm sure we'll see you before, KPV, because I'm sure the boys will be doing stuff during the World Cup, and I'm sure there'll be some Tottenham news. But we'll speak to you very soon, KPV.
I'll speak to you tomorrow, my man. And
okay.
I've got a tournament in Watford tomorrow, so I'm not sure I'll be able to speak, but I'll speak to you all in a week. And I'm a bit stressed we didn't have the Late Show 2 weeks in a row. We haven't had it.
You're getting called out. He's calling everyone out.
All I can say is, like I said, I apologise to the world by having jet lag and having travelled and then went up to Nottingham, then spending time with my nephews and my niece, and then seeing
How very
friends.
dare you? You've
I
upset
know,
Ariane. Now you've upset.
I know. I
upset
have to sort
KPV.
my priorities out. I don't care if I have to find a hotspot in a 24-hour library or something.
Yeah.
The Late Late Show will be back this Friday.
Yeah, and so everyone, make sure you tune in for this Friday because the 100% record is continuing, and long may it continue. And I'm still unbeaten, so
It's you and Assad.
yeah, so it looks like I'm winning so far. So anyway, I'm off to listen to Let the Dogs Out, and it's Ben and Sim who let them
Ben and
out
Sim
again.
today.
Ben and Sim let the
Ben and
dogs
Sim
out.
let the dogs
today.
out. Fantastic.
Big up,
Fantastic.
KPV.
See you later, KPV.
Big up.
Peace. I love that man. I love that man
Big
so
up,
much.
KPV.
Big up KPV.
Big up KPV. The next person that we've got coming on, and I'm interested to see. He looks a lot happier than he has the last couple of times I've seen him, and it's Michael.
Well, he looked surprised at that.
I know.
He looked surprised that you thought he was happy. How are you, Michael, buddy?
Yeah, to be fair, every time I spoke with Barry recently was after a loss, so I guess technically I was usually
What
like
a
I am
roller
happy.
coaster! What a roller coaster,
well,
Mike.
Jesus, I generally I love games like this because they keep you on edge, and of course I love them when we win, but I enjoyed it, and we can talk about the problems that we usually have, why the first half was so lethargic, why we are so bad in the defense. I don't know what you boys want to talk about, because
It's your time, buddy.
It's your time, mate. I think we've said all we wanted to say about how crap these defenders are.
Yeah, that my biggest problem with this game was that because I was checking a lot of streams, and especially during the halftime break, and I have a feeling that a lot of people were just waiting with pitchforks to jump on Conte as soon as they could, and the scoreline was kind of giving an incentive to do so. So I am really happy that we actually managed to turn this game around, because that's for one a big middle finger to those people, right? That's boys. I'm Conte all the way in, and I also said that I don't really enjoy that type of football too much, in terms of I prefer watching the offensive football way more, but I do realize the deficiencies of our squad. I do realize that we lack quality in many areas. So I won't be expecting us to play way better, because that's what we are, right? And for what Conte can do with this team, I think that he is doing well. And I as I said, I am extremely happy that we actually won this game, because I think that if we lost this, then some bad things probably would happen after this game, because as I said, many people were just waiting to pounce on the chance to blame Conte again for the performances. And to be honest, I don't think that again, how many times can we say this? Conte isn't responsible for individual mistakes of players, right? He can set them up in a way, his preferred style of football. And I know that the style of football isn't the most exciting to watch, isn't it's not keeping you on the edge of your seat in terms of how your team plays, right? It's methodical, slow build up, patterns of play. I know that it's not as exciting as maybe what Arsenal are playing or whatever, right? But I personally believe that as much as I hate to use this word, I think that we should go through a project like Arsenal did. And I really hate giving any credit to Arsenal and to what their current players do. But I think that the reason why they are in such a great form is because they actually backed the manager, gave him money, believed in his project, and gave him time, which for some reason we aren't willing to give. And I understand that many people aren't patient with Tottenham. They want trophies, they want success, right? I understand that. I also understand I have more patience because I'm I'm a younger fan, right? But I think that that's the best that can happen with our club, is to give Conte time and money to fulfill his project. And let's not get into the discussion about Levy, whether he will support Conte or not. That's other discussion, right? But in terms of like what's happening on the pitch, I'm really happy that we won, because I feel like that if we lost, then I don't know. I just had the feeling that if we lost, that Conte might have been sacked after. As much as it is to say, I just feared that the pressure from the fans would be so big that Levy would be kind of forced again to move, and that's the worst thing that can happen for me. So, as I said, I don't really enjoy like watching us struggle with Leeds, struggle against Forest, struggle against other clubs. But in general, I think that what's happening with our club is good, in terms of like the manager being here, convincing players to stay, right? Because we all say if Conte leaves, Kane leaves, Son leaves, like Romero leaves, Kulusevski leaves, right? And then we are in the gutter. So as much as I maybe don't enjoy watching Tottenham recently, I still do, but I don't really enjoy it, right? But yeah, like I think in general it will be good in later. Like later we will say that at least I hope that we were stupid to doubt Conte, and I hope that he brings something good to this club, right?
Yeah, Michael, the one thing I will say, or it's the one thing I am to say about Levy, I promise you, I don't think if he sacks Conte, or if he had, let's say we had lost this game, like he said, he went to pull the trigger, Armageddon would happen. Either way,
Yeah,
because
and it should,
there will be absolute Armageddon, because, like you said, this a lot of people believe is his last chance with the manager. Like, he has got the elite of the elite, and he done well to get him in. You don't bring a manager in like him without backing him with what he needs. I don't think he gave into the pressure with Nuno to get in him. I don't think if he was to sack him, it ain't going to work in his favour. It will backfire on him in a huge way. So that was I think what he did with Nuno was a risk he had to take. This is a risk he cannot take. This he simply can't. Especially after a performance like this, or if we'd lost this, then this whole thing would have just blown up. I think, and then like you said, Kane would have gone, Son would have gone, Kulusevski. It all falls to pot. I don't think I don't think you can sack him, even if we carried on.
I was talking with a friend of mine who is a Spurs fan, and I don't want to say that he's Conte out, but he really doesn't like the way we are playing, and he thinks that in recent times we have regressed. But like my counter argument to that was that all teams go through bad patches, and actually I think that Conte being here, whether you like his football or not, puts massive pressure on our board and our owners, because as you said, they are kind of backed into a corner, in my opinion, because if they screw this up, and if they either sack Conte or make him leave because of like no backing and not showing ambition, as Conte is saying, I think that puts them in a like lost cause situation, that they cannot really defend themselves and say that because like even though some people are Conte out, I think that if you look like in general, most people want to believe in this project, and if they screwed this up, they would turn. I hope that they would turn on the board and on the owners. So as you said, I really like Conte because of his pedigree and because of what he achieved already, and his position of power. It puts a lot of pressure on Levy, and all I can do is hope that he backs him in January and in summer, right? And I believe that. Sorry, boys. Yeah, turned out I had COVID, by the way, last week. So.
Oh God, wish you better.
It's my third time, so I'm kind of getting used to it. But yeah, sorry. Going back to what I was saying, I believe that if Conte gets given time and players, and he's actually allowed to fix that defense, to bring players that he wants to play with, and I'm not necessarily talking about players like each 80 million or whatever, right? You could clearly see today the two players that bailed us out were Juve rejects, as many people call them, right? And one of them costed us like what 19 million, I think, and the other one was 35 or 40. That's not massive money when you look at Anthony going for 100 and Casemiro going for 70 or whatever it is, right? I feel like this team can be fixed with players of technically like lower quality, if you know what I mean, like just on paper quality, right? Nobody would have expected Kulusevski to be as good as he is, and I think that if we scout properly and we bring players like this, Conte's skill set makes those players available to compete with the best out there. So yeah, as I said, I fully believe in Conte. I am really happy that he won this game. What a roller coaster! But yeah, that Dyer fucked up again with 2 goals. I like, but how many times can you repeat this, right? How many times can we say, "Oh, it's Dyer's mistakes again," right? Royal was shit. Like everybody knows that's the way it is, right? But we cannot fix this right
Hey,
now.
Michael, don't
Because it's
start
not
on
atmosphere
Royale
in it,
again.
right?
I'll
So-
start getting upset.
They're-
I'll
they're-
start
Yeah,
getting
Do you know
upset.
what? Do you know what it is as well, Michael? Though, when you look at it, Dyer's best performances have in a Spurs shirt come in the back three. When he even when he did it with Jan and Toby. And the best part of being in the back three is it eliminates those mistakes. And last season, they were very, very rare. They were, I mean, the last one I can clearly remember, and I still don't know how he did it, was that own goal away to Newcastle, where he went down to head it and it came off his shin and went in. And we were on Newcastle owners' first game. But like I said, and like Aaron Peter, since he's got his England call up, and I think there may have been a couple of ones that he got out of jail with before, but since his England cap, the old Eric Dyer and these mistakes in a back three have cost us.
Yeah, it's honestly baffling because like how many other defensive players you need on the pitch not to fuck up every time, like
Exactly.
because
exactly.
like many people were saying that they want a more attacking like manager to play back four, to not be scared of the opposition. But my counter argument to that, and as I said, I like back fours better, right? I like more attacking football way more than I do three at the back, defensive play. But like people just need to remember how bad Dyer, Sanchez, Davies, all those players were in a back four, and you have to like understand that back five and 2 DMs give them even more protection, and even with all that protection, 7 defensive players on the pitch, or even 8 when you count Bissouma when he comes on, right? With 8 defensive players on the pitch, they still constantly fuck up and they still constantly make grave mistakes, right? What was that defending for the first goal by the Sinistera? No, not Sinistera. Somersville. What's his name?
Somerville.
Somerville. Yeah. What was that defending? I mean, he didn't necessarily like fuck up like he did against Liverpool, right? But he was so passive in defending. Like this Somerville guy, he's so small. You could just budge him off the ball. Just be proactive, right? Don't wait for the don't wait to block the shot. Be proactive. Knock the player off the ball, right? Try to intercept him in some way. Like the defending for the second goal, also he broke the line of offside, right? And yeah, as I said, how many times can you point out his mistakes? Unfortunately, that's what we have to deal with. And my only hope is that we actually decide to bring a center back in the winter, right? And as I said, it doesn't have to be like a 60 million player. I hope it would be, but it doesn't have to be, right? So
Yeah, exactly, Michael. Exactly.
Yeah, I am hopeful. I think that like the essence of being a fan is to believe that your team can achieve something. So I'm going to believe. I think that what's happening right now in Tottenham is positive in the grand scheme of things, and I'm willing to give it time, right? So yeah, I think I will finish off on that. I'm willing to give Conte more time.
You won't finish off on that, Michael, because Brian's got
you're finished when I goddamn tell you finished, and you finished when you
sorry,
answered this
sorry.
when you've answered this question. So I'm sure you've been listening. Out of all the Spurs players going to the World Cup, what nation is going the furthest?
You know, I had a talk yesterday with a friend of mine about about the World Cup chances, and I have a sneaky feeling it's going to be, if they don't meet earlier, the final will be between Brazil and Argentina. As I said, if they don't meet earlier.
They'll meet in the semi-final if they both win their group.
Oh,
So.
okay. So for me, it's one of those. It's either Romero or Richarlison.
You have to choose one, Michael. We're not having a flip flop, sit on the fence, sprinters. You have to choose one, mate. Brazil or Argentina.
I think it will be Argentina, and even though I think that Brazil has a better squad overall, I think Argentina will reach a final. And sorry, boys, that I'm not including England in that, but I think that your manager is holding you.
I don't know.
Your manager is holding you back.
I want us to get knocked out early, mate. So then all that, like Kane, only Kane really will have a rest. I don't give a crap about Dyer. He can get injured at the World Cup. It doesn't bother me. That'll then force our hand to go and spend some money. So, look, Michael, great call. Hope you get better, mate, and we'll see you soon.
Speak to you soon, Michael, mate.
Yeah.
Come on, you Spurs.
Bye. Have a nice day.
Look, we've just had. There's
been a super chat as well.
How was that? Go on, you do that one.
Okay, it's it's ironic you're going to get me to read this because it's from Brandon Troller, a very good supporter of the channel, that says when they showed that bald devil, I puked on the telly.
That's what made you. Yeah, that's what made you read it.
That's what made me read it straight away. I saw it on my phone. But yeah, if you're watching the watch along, Brandon, I did something similar, but not puking. I got a little bit volatile. My Levy Tourette's came out, so yeah. But you were saying,
yeah, no, look, just confirmation. We said about James Maddison, Leicester City boss Brendan Rodgers said he's okay, he'll be fine. It was an irritation on the side of the knee. It's not a muscle. He hadn't trained much after the Everton game. It was a precaution with him and Yuri, who also came off. So talking about Tielemans. For all the talent players, it's a challenging situation. You're very focused. You want to play, but in the back of your mind, it's natural to be thinking of the World Cup and meeting up with your national team on Monday. And we've had some news from Antonio Conte from his press conference. Let me just get
whilst you find out, I will say the next person we have coming on is winning the award for the most colourful shirt of the afternoon.
Colourful shirt,
sexiest hair, longest hair, everything.
But before we get to him, Conte conceding 3 goals is too much. At the end, after 13 games, I think it's better to see the positive side. To come back in a difficult game and to finish with a win. But if you ask me about the game, when my team concedes 3 goals, I'm never happy because it means you need to improve. This period has been difficult because of preparing games every 2 to 3 days. We need to rest and then we need to work. If we want to be competitive, then conceding 3 goals is too much. We have to change conceding quickly. To go every game 1-0 down is not positive. So for this reason, I want to take the positive side because my players showed great will and desire to win the points. On Rodrigo Bentancur, he said, Rodrigo has enormous potential. He's strong physically. He has good endurance. He has everything. For this reason, I'm pushing him to push himself to become a top midfielder because he has the characteristics to be a top midfielder. I think he's playing really well, but I'm sure he can also do much better. And on the break, he added, I'm really happy to have this break because we arrived today very tired with a lot of stress. I think for sure we have to continue to improve. I hope there's no injuries from the World Cup because those injuries could affect the rest of the season.
I have to say, and breathe, because you read that in one long breath, which was incredible. What a talent.
And also, Bentancur is suspended for the Aston Villa game because he picked up his 5th yellow card. So he will not be back until New Year's Day.
So he gets a little break.
Even more of a rest after.
That's all good. That's all good.
But
before we bring Jacob and the amazing Technicolor Dream T-shirt on, what we will do, we've got another super chat from Brandon Troller, which basically says need 2 new centre backs, a right back, a right wing back, and a new Goddard owner. I love Brandon.
Yeah, big up, Brandon.
I love Brandon
Troller.
So look,
the final caller of the day. Like we said, his boy Rodrigo Bentancur has had a great game, and he's here to tell us all about it. It's Jacob
and the amazing Technicolor T-shirt.
How you boys doing? Can you hear me all right?
We can hear you fine, mate.
All right, because my video's a little laggy, but Rodrigo Bentancur, what a man with the brace, coming on the way he did. This is something I've been talking about with this guy, that I really enjoyed watching his confidence build. I've really enjoyed watching him not afraid to take risks. The only thing that I was really critical about of him last season So, honestly, for me, what a game. I know it's against Leeds, but it was a little fun to watch Harry Kane versus Tyler Adams. That's going to be a matchup that I'm looking forward to coming up for the World Cup. So, man, what a game. How are you boys doing? It's always so good to see you, Brian and Barry, Nick, Ranjit.
We're good, mate. We're exhausted.
Yep.
It's been it's a whirlwind of emotion. But yeah, look, the most important thing today was 3 points. I don't think I called it. Anyone called it. Everyone was worried. I know Ben was worried before the game. Sim not so much. But yeah, it was. It's good to get over the line now, and we can head to the World Cup and well, if England get knocked out or what have you, or don't perform, then we can just relax and not worry about any football really for a month or so.
Yeah, it's good to. I must admit, it's good to be home. It's good to be doing this. It's good to see Spurs winning after going to Nottingham Forest, and this is like my home from home, so it's all good. But Jacob, what did you think? What did you think? How can I even put this? Let's just take your evaluation of the first half shit show, and the second half hot shot Tottenham.
This has always been the same story, in my opinion. We have, as Michael before me, and I'm sure the others before me have said, Nick, I love you. I know you've been backing up our boy Emerson here, but quite frankly, when you have Emerson on the right and Eric Dyer playing on the right, there's just a problem. And this is something I was not looking forward to off the jump when I saw the 11. But in that first half, it's just another example of Eric Dyer being Eric Dyer.
Yep.
I actually gotten to a point where I hate watching him and Emerson play. It used to not be that bad. It used to just be, oh, you know, they annoy me. I'm frustrated when they have the ball, but come on, you Spurs, like, let's go. I'm to a point where I actually despise when they're on the ball. I do not enjoy it. When Emerson has the ball, I know that nothing good is going to happen. When Dyer's on the ball or when he's defending, I don't even want to think about his defending because, as you know, I think today he was at fault for both of those goals. I would say there was a little bit of blame to be shared on the first one with Emerson. And then on the second one, I think there was a little bit of blame to be shared as well with Longley. But at the same time, Eric Dyer, you're supposed to be the man. Whether Eric Dyer's in the middle, we concede goals in the middle. When Eric Dyer's on the right, we concede goals on the right. It doesn't matter where you put this guy, he's going to concede goals. The positive side, I will say, is he's playing in the World Cup. I hope he starts next to Maguire when USA play. I hope.
Yeah, I thought you
and
might
I hope
say
the same
that.
thing for when Wales play. Because you know what? I already predicted he's going to be USA's top scorer for the group stage. I just think that he... Go ahead, Brian. I'm sorry.
No, go, Jacob.
I get so upset
finish,
thinking
mate.
about Eric Dyer.
No, what I was going to say, one thing I was going to say about with Eric Dyer, definitely a fault for the first goal, but I think we've missed a lot of people. Nick and I called it. Højbjerg was very, very poor in that first goal. He wasn't his normal combative self, and the ball got given away easily, and then it got to Dyer. But you are 100% right that it doesn't matter where Dyer is at the moment. Calamity just seems to follow him. But now, as you were about to say, the second half, the super second half Spurs.
I think it was really good to see. We always know that we turn up in the second half. That's just kind of what we like to do. It's frustrating, but at the same time, at the end of the day, what matters to me the most is the final score. And you know what? Eric Dyer didn't concede in the final 5-10 minutes. After we went up, I was, oh, please, Eric Dyer, don't do something stupid, because now you're in the middle. And Rodrigo, for their side, was having himself a day. So it was like, here's the thing: whether it's Rodrigo, whether it's Mohamed Salah, whether it's Kiefer Sutherland for AFC Bournemouth, it doesn't matter. He's gonna give them space and goals. He is ass. He sucks so bad, and I can't wait to see his ass in the World Cup. I can't wait to watch everyone run all over his ass in the World Cup. Southgate don't get me wrong, USA has made some very bad decisions on their squad as well. Ricardo Pepi was left off of the squad, and I gotta just throw that in there. That's a mistake for USA, so y'all might have a little bit of a chance because Greg Berhalter is the American version of Southgate. But I still think we'll make it out the group because y'all got Eric Dyer and Harry Maguire. But the second, I'm sorry, I keep going back to the World Cup because I just want to put the work on Eric Dyer. I want to cheer him getting his ass ran over because I'm tired of watching him play for Tottenham. I'm tired of it. It's been enough. I don't care where you put him, back 2, back 3, fucking central defensive mid. It doesn't matter. He's going to concede goals. He sucks. He's done. And we're talking about new contracts, and he's going to the World Cup. Again, I'm glad he's going to the World Cup. That's good for USA. But what I'm saying is,
what, him and Maguire in defence? Yeah, it is good. It is. You're right.
Trent Alexander-Arnold. Again, it's our defence again, isn't it? Really, for club and
it's
country.
always our defense, and that's and back to Spurs. That's kind of the theme that I don't understand when all these fans are Conte out, his tactics, fossil football, blah blah blah, this and that. Bro, with the shittiness we were playing, we were still top 4, which was our aspirations of last season. So to me, it doesn't make sense. This guy is making wine out of dog piss because these players we've acquired through the 5 managers in 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have different philosophies, different managers. Like, oh, I want this player. I want this player. You know, Jose Mourinho wanted Skriniar. We gave him Joe Rodon. Antonio Conte wanted Bastoni. We got him Longley. So it's like, when you do this over and over, and then you blame the manager, it's like, oh, but you. And then the other argument, blame him for starting this guy and not starting that guy, or his substitutions and X, Y, and Z. Bro, if I looked at that bench and I saw what he saw, I wouldn't be trying to make subs too soon either. I'd be a little afraid. I mean, what are you going to do? Bring Lucas Moura on? What's he going to do?
I've got something funny for today, right? So the Tottenham fans apparently were cheering when Emerson came off, right?
It was loud. Yeah, it was pretty loud.
Yeah. So Emerson has come out and has said, the reception from the fans when I was coming off was incredible. Thank you, Spurs fans. Much love.
You're shitting me. That's not real. That's not real.
That's real. It's real. It's come out.
No, that's not real. No.
Yeah.
He cannot. No.
I love him, man. He's my favourite right wing back. Keep him.
Was that
He's brilliant.
Was that on Twitter?
Yeah. It's on Twitter, mate.
Well, see, here's the thing about Twitter now. You can just pay $8 and make a verified account.
That's a good point.
And you can put.
That's a very, very good point.
Make sure the bios doesn't say parody. It has to say like something that they're not actually him.
That's a good point.
Because
the Twitter blue.
He did not say. He can't be that blind to his just disgrace of a Tottenham shirt.
It's brilliant. Yeah, I mean, I don't think if he knows the song that's going around with singing that he can't defend, he can't attack. Emerson Royale is our right back. I think, Jacob, I think you're right. It's got to be the parody. It's got to be the parody. But Jacob,
thank you so much. That makes me mad just reading that. I'm sorry.
Jacob,
thank you for sending that to me, Nick.
That's okay.
I just wanted to say, like we said, the final question I've been asking, but one thing I will say to you, Canada's going to go further than America in the World Cup.
Oh wow!
I'm calling it here. I'm calling it now, and I know King Hoddle's in the chat, and I've told King Hoddle, and I'm going to let everyone know, Canada are going to be, when I say dark horses, I don't think they're going to get out of the group stage. I just don't think they get out of the last 16.
You think they make it out of their group?
Yep, I do. I think they're going to come second in their group, seriously. And I've said it for months and months. Everyone check out, during the World Cup, their player that looks like and plays like Leroy Sané.
How are they coming second in your group? Belgium and Croatia.
Croatia are getting old. Look at the players. They're getting old.
Mate,
I'm telling you,
don't ever mess with Croatia.
Luka Modric is too class. Luka's gonna.
They're coming second in their group. They're going to be the shock.
You're playing Belgium first, then Croatia. You're getting battered both games, mate.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. I'm telling you.
This is crazy.
I'm telling you, Canada.
That's like me saying England are going to win.
No, it's not. Canada are going to get. Canada are going to get out of the group. Honestly, they've got a lot of players there. Although Alphonso Davies has picked up an injury, which is a big problem. But Tajon
He's their best player. That's their best player right there.
Tajon Buchanan, I would take at Spurs in an absolute heartbeat.
All these players that I've never heard of, mate. They're going to set the World Cup on fire.
No, Tajon Buchanan. No, he's right.
Did you know the Cameroon players in 1990? Did you know the Senegal players in 2006?
Here we go.
Did you know the Turkey players in 2002?
I'll tell you what I do know. Canada's getting whacked, mate. They are getting destroyed.
Right. We'll see. We'll see, my friend. But yes, back to my final question. Out of who of the Spurs contingency, what nation is getting the furthest?
That's a great question. I think it's obviously everyone's favorites are either Brazil or Argentina, obviously. For me, you lucky ain't no Spurs on Team USA, baby, because we be going to the top. I'm just
my
playing.
God.
It's definitely not going to be England, so they ain't going to make it out of the group stage. I'll say that much. Wales, so Ben Davies might have a chance because Wales will get out the group. Let's see.
Do you know what? There's
I want to pick Croatia now because you said they're too old, and that's kind of the critique that Perisic has been getting is, he's too old, he can't do X, Y, and Z. But I mean, clearly he's better than all our wingbacks put together. So I'm gonna say Croatia is gonna go the furthest.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna. Do you know what? I'm actually gonna go. I haven't given my answer, and I've been knowing. I'm actually gonna go with Wayne Francis, Uruguay.
Are you right there, Sammy?
I'm gonna go with the. I'm gonna go with Uruguay and Bentancur. I'm gonna go for a dark horse.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for a dark horse.
You know, Michael, my co-host on the show, he picked the same one. He thinks Uruguay is gonna go very far. So I would like to see it.
We shall soon see, and I look forward to watching the World Cup.
There is one other thing I wanted to ask y'all.
Bob?
Is the double signing of Bentancur and Kulusevski, is that the best duo signing that we've got since Ozzy and Ricky, or is it the best since Color TV? That's my name.
Best since Color TV.
Has there been a bit of double? I don't know if there's been any. How many double signings have we actually? I mean, we've made 2 signings, but not from the. Like actually, Michael Dawson and Andy Reid, they're definitely better. they're definitely better.
I think it's got
Simon Davies and Matthew Everton from Peterborough. They're definitely better. Carl Walker and Carl Norton from Sheffield United. They're definitely better. I'm trying to think if there's any others. But yeah, Ricky Villar and I think our 2 South American double acts. Kulusevski's from Sweden, but yeah,
you've thrown him.
He's honorary South American. He's honorary.
I think they, without a doubt, are the greatest. Ricky and Ozzy have just got the trophies to back it up, though, haven't they?
Yeah.
They win a couple of trophies.
Since it's the greatest since. Yeah,
Yeah, greatest since, without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt.
My buddy Michael said, if we, with Bentancur and Kulusevski, if we win FA or UCL at any point, like in the future, with them two, that they may go down in history as the best 2 signings, like pairing wise.
Newcastle have just scored an absolute thunderbolt. Newcastle 1, Chelsea 0.
That's not good news.
No, it's not. Mate.
That means that we're
still in the top 4. I hate Chelsea.
I hate Chelsea that much,
with a
though.
passion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I like to see
Newcastle will
it.
be opening that checkbook come January.
Sammy's upset.
They are going shopping in Harrods. I'm waiting to see who was it?
Joe Willock.
An ex-filth has just scored against Chelsea. And yeah, it has just this second gone in. But yeah,
Let's hope he gets knocked out, clocked off.
it's just, let's have a look. It's not. Yeah, that's not getting.
What a goal.
That's not getting chalked off. But yeah, Jacob and the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Do you want to plug your channel very quickly?
Yes, sir. But the reason why I wore this also, I felt like it was fitting.
I thought you were wearing that.
Yeti.
Yeah,
y'all ain't excited for some more mugs? We got fucking 10 of them playing on every given weekend.
Yeah.
We can get a whole bunch of more overpriced mugs. Come on.
I'm gonna keep quiet.
All right, Jacob. Big up, mate. We will see you soon, mate. Good to see you, buddy.
See you
Likewise.
later, Jacob.
Thanks for having me on, Brian, and We Are Tottenham TV. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. So we've had another super chat here from Powder TCG. Benton comeback is the super chat. Benton comeback.
That's a great one.
That is a good Bentekers. Look, we've had a great post-match fan show. That is it for now. So we can take the headphones off. We don't need to do it. Hopefully Chelsea get an equaliser and Newcastle will still be third. But look, I think Brian, if someone had said we'd have topped our Champions League group and would be in the top 4 come the World Cup break, would you have taken it?
Yeah, like I said, this is yes, I would have. But if you'd got it in a bit more context, the way it's happened, I'd have been a little bit more. unhappy with what's going on. But listen, fortunately, this is what the board want. Get to the next round of Champions League, get top 4. We're doing both. Now let's hope we go out and start, like people have said, we've now got this break, then we go into January. Prepare to mount serious challenges, to cement our place in the top 4 and higher if possible, and obviously go as far as we can in the Champions League and back Conte. So yeah, this is, I would have snapped your hand off. So yourself?
Yeah, look, I got hotels booked for Istanbul, mate. So
Yeah, we booked them together, didn't we?
What can I say? I think. Look, I think the last 10 days or the last 2 weeks has really taken it out of me, but I'm glad we finished. We've got the win. That's all that mattered. I'm glad I predicted a 2-0 Leeds win, and it went the other way when it wasn't going so well with sort of 15 minutes to go. But look, I think we'd all take it. Maybe not the style, but we definitely take where we are. And look, we are at the moment currently. Obviously, Newcastle jumped back above us into third place, but we are 4 points behind Manchester City. Let that sink in. Erling, the alien Haaland, didn't score today as well.
What a shit striker. What a waste of money.
Yeah, but look, it's going to be interesting what happens with this World Cup break. I know Ben and Sim you will be here you and Sim will be here tomorrow. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the World Cup. Obviously, everyone meets up with their respective countries on Monday, and then the World Cup starts next weekend. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think we can now go into this extended break. We can rest, we can recover, we can sit there and wait and see what happens. Obviously, the next big thing, I guess, is Spurs. Is hopefully everyone comes back from the World Cup injury-free.
Yep.
Apart from Eric Dyer.
Yep.
Look, and then it's on to January, and then that, like you said, Brian, I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Do we kick on, or do what we do in the last 22, 23 years? That's the big thing. We need to kick on now. Conte, like him or loathe him, he's worked miracles with these players, and we'll just have to see whether Arsenal finally
come on,
Wolfsfeed.
Wolfsfeed, do us a favour.
If Arsenal fall off a cliff and we start to click, that is the $1 million question.
Yep, let's hope for a Christmas miracle, and everything goes our way, and things start resembling or getting back to normal come January. Got a North London derby to look forward to. We need to get revenge on them, have a good January, and just try and go from there.
Yeah, and thank you to everyone that was with us earlier in the pump-up, to the watch-along, to the post-match fan show. Brian will be back on Boxing Day for the Aston Villa game. He's on his own at the moment.
Yep,
so
I'm all by myself.
He might just be by himself because obviously it's Boxing Day over here. I will be back with Brian on New Year's Day for the Brentford game. I will be back on New Year's Day for the Aston Villa game with Brian. And then it's me and Rez again on the 4th with Palace away. So look, the games are going to come thick and fast. We've got an FA Cup run. We've got the Champions League to look forward to. We've got some big games in February. Manchester City, AC Milan, and Chelsea and West Ham. Most importantly, they're at home, the ones in the league. Thank you all for joining us. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always,
come on you Spurs.